Good morning, family. What's going on, y'all? It's me, Toya with the T, and I'm back with a whole new show, you guys. So first and foremost, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Second of all, let me apologize. As y'all see, Toya with the T ain't got no shame, honey. Y'all see it with no makeup, honey. Them edges ain't even done, honey. I just want to let y'all know that's how confident your girl is. But anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. So good morning, and y'all know me. Welcome to the show. Definitely got to start off with a little bit of word for the Lord, honey. We're gonna go ahead and give him some prayer. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a little shout out. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all some motivation, and we're gonna get started with today's show. So we thank you, Father, for another glorious day, Lord. We thank you for everything that you're doing here now and in advance, Lord. We thank you for all the things that you've given us, and we want to ask you to continue to guide us and keep your arms around us and guide our steps, Lord. And right now in COVID-19, a lot of people, Lord, they are losing their loved ones. People they're leaving here, Lord. But I got faith that they're coming home with you, Lord. So I ask that you reassure them that they know when their loved ones leave here, they are home with you, Lord. There is a place beyond here, Lord. And in order for them to meet their loved ones there, they gotta believe it. They gotta believe in you. So touch their hearts, give them comfort right now. Let them know that their loved ones are in a safe place and they up there doing wondrous things for us down here. So don't worry. And we ask you to continue to protect us and guide us and give us the strength to be able to do everything that it is in your will, Lord, because you done gave us an anointing to where it's time for your people to take over. And we thank you for that in advance. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, y'all. I don't know if y'all know it, and it breaks my heart, the tragedy. But I'm thinking about the God in COVID-19. And even though our loved ones are not here, they're at a better place with God. They got gold streets and mansions. It's off the chain where our loved ones is going. But I think the best part about it is that they're able to do wondrous things for us because they have this eternal body, man, where they never die, they never age, they never hurt, they never have pain no more, and they're always with us. And they move stuff out the way. They stop cars for us when we're gonna have accidents. They come and warn us when it's time for us to get in something that the devil set up for us. So they're in a better place, man. So my heart goes out to everyone who's lost a loved one. And just please know that, God has a plan. In the meantime, between time, we're going to go ahead and take this to the motivational level, honey, because you know what? We serve a sea-splitting God. He done had folks build boats. And let me tell you something, in the time of 19, if he had to put his finger on the globe to stop it, to make sure that his people come out on top and have what he said they're going to have, he going to make sure it's done in this time of COVID-19. So don't y'all worry. Don't y'all let y'all faith waver. This is a test. And he wants to know how strong we believe in him. It's a test. It's happened many ages before. So don't worry, don't fret. It's God's people's time. He is with us in anything that we do. So save face, stay strong, and don't give up. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I just want to remind you guys that there's gifts in the middle of this COVID-19, and we need to find them. There are pearls in the middle of this COVID-19, and we need to find them. So I need you guys to stay motivated and come on, let's get it, man. We should be angry right now with COVID-19. That's the devil's work. But God got provision. But the thing is, he's going to need us to believe in his power and what he say we can do and be ready and willing to fight this thing. I'm ready to fight COVID-19 all day. What I need to do. Masks, we done made some masks and gave out towels and soap, and we're going to continue doing it. But most importantly, COVID-19, it taught me, I took for granted hugging people. I took for granted going to social gatherings, something that was once a day, your regular day of life, you know what I'm saying, where you just go and do just regular daily activity, that got cut out. It got cut out. So I want to go back to just hugging people. When you meet people, hey, give them a hug. Now we got to stay back 6 feet. Do you know what can happen with lack of human touch? Oh, man, relationships. That go for you too, bro. If we married, you got to stay back 6 feet, bro. All kids, stay back 6 feet. Dogs, everybody, bugs, everything. They said they ain't had no winter in New York this winter. I said, yeah, because it was closed due to COVID-19. They went to Canada. Winter ain't even want COVID-19. We on our own. So it's time for us to get it together. But I'm just playing, y'all. Y'all know I'm just kicking a bobo. But I got a good show for you guys today because I have two people that's gonna be calling in really soon who actually were diagnosed with COVID-19. One was actually placed in a facility in Atlanta, one of the hotels down here where they actually help assist COVID-19 patients versus one other individual. And we're gonna get more specifics. However, I do not think that he was quarantined at a hospital or facility. He home quarantined, self quarantined, and still got a negative test when he came back and he was tested. So that's good. And that's what the show is going to be about today, you guys. We're going to be talking about the recovery of COVID-19. And we're going to talk to two individuals that have beat it and are doing fairly well recovering from COVID-19. And that is a great thing. And I think this information is necessary so we can spread it to our loved ones. In the event we should have our loved ones that may have been touched by COVID-19 or we're battling through it. First and foremost, I got to tell you, you better call on the Lord, honey, and Jesus and his stripes and everything. If it's a fairy tale, what you got to lose? But in the event that fairy tale is true, call on the Lord with all your might and soul and believe in your heart he can heal you. But in the meantime, we're going to talk to individuals who we do share that same faith. And we constantly talk about, the faith and the will of God. And they believe that in their heart. And I do believe that has had a lot to do with their recovery. So I definitely want you guys to talk to them today. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and go with some updates of the COVID-19. All right. Reporting from CNN. We now know that there are 1 million cases of coronavirus that have been reported in the U.S. This report comes from the Johns Hopkins University, which is a very prominent university. Scientists say that there are positive data in studies of potential COVID-19 treatments. All right, so we need to find out what the treatments are. Now, the unfortunate part is there are never-ending stories on COVID-19, how it's changing, how symptoms change, how it went from being able to having symptoms to you being asymptomatic to where you don't show symptoms, but you're still a carrier of the virus, and it can then hop off of you or hop onto other people. And for people that follow me, you know that I also explained that in January, I had a conversation with a man who expressed this same type of and China actually lost 200 million pigs due to that same type of virus, which I highly doubt that they threw away 200 million pigs. I mean, just in my mind and knowing how greedy people can be in business, I could imagine if 200 pigs were infected with COVID-19, they were still chopped up, shipped up, and processed and sent to homes across the globe, which would thoroughly explain why we had so many multiple outbreaks in different places of people who did not visit China. Even if it did involve from a bat, if that one bat bit one particular pig, and at that time it was contagious just from one pig getting to another pig, it took off like wildfire. And if you distribute all of these pigs across the globe, then I could definitely see how across the globe that we have some of these epidemics popping up because it's that highly contagious. And considering the fact that we do have reported evidence that China has a bad habit of not being faithful when they make their products. For instance, some time ago, there was something going on with Toyota, and I believe a CEO had to step down to some brake malfunctions and they had a lot of recalls. I don't know if you guys remember that, but again, I'm like this. I love America. America is the greatest state on earth. I'm glad I'm here, but they have a bad history of abuse. And just like most abusers, they have
You have a caller.
Not tell the truth and try to make it seem like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So even if we do know that this happened in China and they weren't totally honest about the events of COVID 19, again, just from a track record, we already know how this goes. Just from their track record, we know we have a tendency for them not to be all the way honest for financial purposes or financial gain. And with that being said, if that is indeed the case, they need to be held accountable. And as much of a bully as United States may be, as much as we live in the United States, oh, we're this, we're that, we're third, honey, we on top, and can't nobody beat us and can't nobody top us. And if that's what it takes to be in the league, then so be it. Let's run it. I'm all with it. But in the meantime, between time, while I'm American, my job is to fight and make sure that we represent and we run this thing and we run it with integrity. So we're about to do away with some of these old ways of doing things with a lack of integrity to people and things like that. When I become president, we work on doing it with other countries. But let me tell you something. If they act like they want to bring it, I'd be ready to bring it too because we still are America. But anyway, back with the updates until my guests call in. I just got some text. I heard I got a new fan. Hold on, let me check my text, you guys. All right, you guys. So I hope you can hear me well. If you can't hear me, make sure you go ahead and drop your info to let me know if you can hear this or not. But absolutely, I have a caller on the line. Hi, caller. How are you? Thank you for calling me on Toya with the T.
Hello, I'm well. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're well. Thank you for joining me. So, of course, I did not disclose any names or any photos. I just kind of wanted to let you lead the way. And I know that we commonly share the same beliefs, on God and spirit, and even with this coronavirus. So, if you would, you want to take a couple of minutes to just kind of tell people your point of view and what we're experiencing on COVID 19?
Well, you know, and when this big pandemic first hit, I was one of the people who said that I didn't necessarily say that we can't get it or it was fake, but what I was saying was that that I was covered and that people around me were covered. So I guess I think it's an act of God. I really do think that it's God working to return the earth back to the people to his chosen people. But I did have to go through an episode with it, and it was very tough on my body. So right now I really just want to take time to give all the credit to God for bringing me to the other side of Corona, so that I got a testimony to give people who actually listen to me. But it's definitely a serious thing. We should definitely everybody should be taking all of the precautions that they putting out here for us, social distancing and staying sanitized and staying clean. Which it should have been a way of life for all of us before now. But now I just try to. I think it's just a positive change for the better in the way that everybody living their lives. So I'm not really mad at COVID. I'm sorry for the people who losing people. I don't want to be insensitive. But like I said, I went through it myself, and I really try to just take it for what it's worth, and it's a cleansing of the earth going on right now. So that's where I stand on the whole COVID situation.
Right. Okay. And I agree. I do believe that there's some cleansing going on as well. So let me ask you, with your experience, can you probably describe to the audience like how'd you feel? Maybe like how it started, how you felt, and what you did to beat it.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that my experience with COVID is a unique one because I never actually had many symptoms of the virus. I actually got sick with gastroparesis, right? That's something that that's something that I've been dealing with a few years. Is where your stomach don't work as hard as it's supposed to digest your food. So, the whole while I was sick for a few days with that. So I ended up, my old lady, my wife, ended up making me go to the hospital because, I'm a man. That ain't no excuse, but we usually need that woman to tell us, come on, baby, let's go to the hospital. So when we ended up going out there, I'm strong minded. before they get ready to test me for the COVID-19, and I'm telling the doctor, nurse, whoever, that I'm sure I'm 100% positive that I don't have COVID. You know what I mean? I'm exercising my strong mind. I ain't trying to put it in the atmosphere that I didn't have it. Not in no braggadocious way. I didn't want to have it, so I would claim that I didn't have it. But anyway, they said, well, we're gonna test you for COVID anyway. And the test came back positive, but most of my most of my healing was that I had to go through was from the gastroparesis. The only real symptom that I had of COVID that I can remember was like it was an aching. I had an aching in my bones, like in my back, my vertebrae. It was like I felt every bone inside of my body, my chest area. Anyway, it felt like I felt those bones were being crushed for about 2 or 3 days. So I didn't have to necessarily deal with all the respiratory issues of COVID. So that's another reason why I know that I'm blessed because I've seen plenty of people on ventilators and that went to a way deeper place than I went to. So, but my healing experience was just laying in the hospital room for 5 days, hooked up to the IV machine, and just pumping all of my fluids back in me. And the only thing is no medicine that they're gonna give you. They just keeping you going long enough for your body to build up the antibodies to COVID-19. So when I did definitely go back to the doctor and now I got a negative test and they telling me that I'm immune from it for right now, but it's not enough research being done, not enough time went by to tell exactly how long we're gonna be immune to it. But I'm claiming to God Almighty that I'm immune from it forever. So, but that was
Right.
my experience. I didn't experience many symptoms from COVID besides those bad. It was the aching. The aching in my bones was something that I never felt before. Though it was definitely a totally different, feeling that I ever had before. But that's basically all I went through. So, like I said, all praise be to God that I didn't go down too bad from the virus.
Right. Right. Praise God. I'm glad you're okay. Okay, so you said that you did do 5 days of treatment in the hospital and they basically gave you IVs to kind of basically build your immune system up.
That's exactly what they did. I just stayed hooked up to the machine. They didn't do anything, really too special besides just keep me full of the fluids and keep me hydrated. Because when I went out there, I was dehydrated. I was dehydrated to the point that they couldn't even find my veins when I went out there. So that's basically it. They just hydrated me, just kept me hydrated until my body built up, till my body was able to fight it out itself.
Wow, that's deep. All right. So did you still have to endure that 14 or 15-day quarantine period once you were released from the hospital?
Well, I did it. When I came home from the hospital. I stayed home for another week and a half after I came home from the hospital and just, basically quarantined myself from my family. I just stayed in my room and anything I needed, if I needed something out of the kitchen or anything to that nature, I definitely got tired of asking her to do it. But my wife, she was great the whole time and, didn't make me feel like I was asking for too much. So like I said, I was blessed all the way around.
Right, right, right. That's good. That's good. All right. So when it came to you releasing and getting home, were there anything special that they told you to do? Like most of the time when you go to the doctor, they tell you to try to change the diet when you pick up something else. But in this instant, did they give you any advice or any tips or anything to do when you got home, maybe for preventative measures or to feel better or anything like that?
No, they just basically told me just the only instruction they told me was to quarantine myself and don't go around anybody because I was could possibly still affect people. And they didn't really give me many instructions on a way of life after Corona. Besides what everybody know already. Keep your hands clean. Stay away from people. Stay out of people's face. That's the only advice that they basically gave me. They don't really, to be honest with you, I feel like nobody know what to do. They just treat your symptoms. they whatever symptoms you got, they're gonna treat those symptoms right there. So it's basically a freestyling process right now. They don't none of the doctors don't even know what to do with this thing right here because it's visiting everybody.
Wow. Yeah, and that's deep. All right. So how do you feel now? Like, are you back to 100%? Does your body feel now? Do you feel any like anything
Yeah, yeah.
different?
I'm definitely back. Now go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're on the right track. I just want to know, like, do you feel anything different from
Well,
before COVID?
I'm definitely back to 100%. You know, I went back to work on Monday. Monday was my first day back, and you know, to be honest, I will tell you how you know, I work in a nursing home, so I was exposed very badly to COVID because damn near, excuse me, I'm sorry, almost all of the people out here, all of the residents out here already had it or they got it right now. So you know, that's
Yeah,
another reason why. That's pretty much where I got it from work. So I was I was very much heavily exposed to it every day. So and a lot of
right,
people out here, like when I was at the hospital, it was like 5 people from my job at the hospital. So
right.
I don't it's just crazy.
Wow. So, I guess my next question would be, like, are you, when it comes to your job, are y'all guys taking new preventative measures? Like, did that change the dynamic of your workplace now?
Well, yeah, you know, it's they definitely. Well, I would put it like this: when Corona, when it started, when the world started going crazy with Corona, they didn't even have masks out here for us. So you know, they definitely upped the ante on the way that they trying to protect us and protect their residents. So now they with the breakout that's inside the building, they are, you know, they got stations by every room where you got to dress out to go inside the rooms. And they doing a good job. I would give them about a B plus on, you know, trying to keep the people safe. But at the same time, it don't even really matter because when I was safe, I was playing it safe when I caught it. You know,
Hello? Oh, I think we lost him. Did we lose him?
Yeah, hopefully he'll call right back in. I don't know what happened.
There you go.
Okay.
Hi.
yeah,
Thank
it's me again.
Okay. Good. Great. All right. So go ahead. Finish up, sweetheart.
Okay. Oh, okay. What I was saying was,
What is wrong with his? What kind of line he on, Toya?
You should be on his cell phone.
Oh, hopefully he's gonna call right back in. We'll see if we get him back. Pick it up for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, well, of course, like I just said, you guys, that was one of the callers calling in. We are not revealing any names or any personal identification. We want to keep their identity as anonymous as possible. And basically, he was just expressing his experience through COVID. And hopefully, that's him calling in right now. Hello, caller.
yeah, it's me again. I don't know if that's me dropping it over here. I don't know what's going on. But
Yeah. Okay, Deb,
what
around
was
from here, Deb.
oh, okay.
We gonna
What I was trying to say was, I was playing it safe. You know, I was taking all the precautions, washing my hands, gloves, mask, everything, and you know, I still came down with it. So it's like I said, I
wow.
don't want to call it inevitable, but it's. I feel like a lot of people are gonna have to catch it. You know what I mean? I I don't wish that on anybody, and I pray to God that it could. I wish it could just disappear in the thin air, but I really don't see it going anywhere no time soon because you know it's like I said, this place right. I hear they taking out the preventative measures, but still it's spreading like wildfire, and they doing everything that they can to prevent it from spreading. So it's just a real serious situation, and it's not to be taken for granted. And we just got to take it very serious right now. I'm doing a radio show.
So,
Yeah, boy. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. On a radio show. That's cool.
so,
Going to
can you
interview
mute your
some of
phone,
the
please, caller? I need
the
caller.
so, hello?
Can you mute
Yeah,
your
I'm
phone?
good. Can Yeah, this is Almitris calling in for the
Hi,
radio show.
Almitris, can you mute your
Yeah,
phone?
so
Can
I
you mute your
can't
phone? I'm on the phone with another caller.
Hold on. Okay, can you hear me? I can hear you
Can
now,
I?
bro. I'm calling in
Hello,
for the radio show.
Almitris. Can I get you to mute your phone, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm here.
okay. I'm sorry. That's my second caller. Okay, go ahead. So, my question I was going to ask you is, from your point of view, does this make you want to get the vaccine?
Oh no, I don't. To me, I'm like, I'm always totally against vaccines anyway. And for me, it's common sense. Like I told you, when I went to the doctor last Thursday, they told me that my body is already producing the antibodies. So it wouldn't even make sense to me, for myself personally, to go get vaccinated from something that my body is already equipped with the antibodies to fight. So, I definitely would not go get a vaccine from it.
Okay. So,
I don't
how
want,
do you feel?
but I want to be clear. I don't want to encourage anybody else to not go get a vaccine. But as for me and the way that I feel about life and different stuff that they can put in the vaccine that might kill me or whatever they're doing, I'm not a vaccine person. I never have been. So I wouldn't start now because of this COVID. And especially I already caught it and fought it, and my body is equipped to deal with it now. So no, I wouldn't be trying to get the vaccine for it.
Right. Okay. I agree. I'm all for choice. I agree. And my last question, because I will be going to my next caller. My last question I would ask is, with COVID-19 and with you actually noticing and seeing and experience this and knowing what's going on, if you were mayor or governor, or you were in a predicament to do things differently, because we all have, an opinion on what we think should be done, what would be done, things like that, but we don't actually understand what it takes to run a country nor a state. But we're going to throw that out to the side and just say, just from your experience actually going through it, if you could be that person to give the governor or the president advice on what to do with opening the country or opening the state and opening these jobs and essential workers, what would you say, and what would be, I guess, your solution to the best of your ability?
Well, my solution is, it may be unpopular, but I would definitely keep the country closed down for another month, 2 months, until whatever number that they're looking for it to shrink to. Because, at this point, it's too many lives on the line, to just let's just get the world back to where it was. And another thing that I've been telling people every day, they ask me, "Oh, when we gonna get back to normal? When we gonna get back to normal?" I say, "Hey, man, we might be looking at the new normal right now. This is normal for right now. We get used to not seeing people faces. Get used to seeing everybody in masks and gloves at Walmart because it's a transformation going on. But that ain't what you asked me. But I had to get that out my chest. But I definitely would not be trying to open up. I wouldn't be in a rush to open up, barbershop salons and all of that stuff because
Good job, Pookie.
you know how I feel. What I feel like when Kemp, Governor Kemp, I don't know where you. I don't know where you at, but I'm in Georgia. And when Kemp tried to come back and say, "Well, we're gonna open up everything," I think that was a definite attack on the black community. Because it just didn't make no sense at the time that he said he said that when he came out with that statement. So I that's just my take on life anyway. That they always gonna figure out a way to weaponize something against the black community.
Right.
But as far as opening up, I wouldn't suggest that, man, because it's nothing that you want your mama to go through it. You don't want your kid to go through no episode with COVID-19 because everybody definitely not as lucky as I was. Like I said, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get to have to feel all of those symptoms. Hello?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But like I said, I didn't have to go through all that. But it's something that you definitely don't want your people to have to go through. So we definitely got to keep playing it safe for now, and maybe one day it can open back up in the next month or two. But right now, it's still too many cases popping up every day for me to be comfortable saying, okay, well, the world can open back up and let everybody go back to work, or let's mix and mingle with all these people. 'Cause I don't think it's time yet.
Right, right, great. Well, you know what, brother? Thank you so much. First of all, let me say all praise is due to the Most High, man. I'm so glad you're great. I want to thank you so much for calling and giving this information to the people because I think it's something that needs to be heard. I think, when we watch news and things, I think it's kind of scripted. So I think this, kind of personalizes different aspects of COVID-19. And I want to thank you so much for calling into the show and letting everybody know your experience, what you've gone through, and the best of your recovery, brother.
Well, it's definitely my pleasure to be able to, I'm a talker, so I was glad to get this out my chest, and I hope that I want to take one moment to let your listeners know, what I mean, where they can find me at, if that's all right with you. So my YouTube channel is Ocean the Ghost, and that's OSHEN the Ghost. Tell the truth. So if you just look me up on YouTube, now I touch on quite a few topics, and my latest video is actually me dealing about my bout with coronavirus. So I appreciate you very much for offering
Right.
this opportunity to come on your platform and talk. So thank you very much.
Oh no, my pleasure, brother. Anything I can do, I'm all about building and moving forward. I heard the calling from the Lord, so it's our time, brother. I'm glad you made it the best in your recovery, man. I'm sending you prayers and healing energies your way. I thank you so much, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with our next two callers, okay?
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Have a great day.
All
All
right.
right, you. Make sure you guys go check him out. Go ahead and follow him on his YouTube channel, you guys. He got some great info for you. So next we got Mr. Al on the line. We're going to talk to him, and we're going to talk about the experience we had as COVID-19 from one of the facilities that were actually in Atlanta that actually houses people and assists them with the recovery and the quarantine of COVID-19 patients. So Al, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm on the move. So
Okay,
I'm sorry.
you're on the move.
Yeah, I gotta go downtown real quick. Yes, I'm here.
All right, so we just want to kind of tell people how was your experience inside the facility in Atlanta during your whole COVID-19 experience?
Well, it was lonely because I was secluded in a hotel quarantine, and I'm glad that God has healed me from it, and
All
I
right,
hope
so
not to infect no one else. Thank God. Thank God is. I'm gonna try to get another test done, but this thing was uh, done by the powers that be, with whoever shit they are, and they got an agenda, and they trying to kill folks off. They been had an agenda, so you know, God said this stuff was gonna be upon the land, and of course, man handed them to destroy themselves.
right.
You know,
Okay, give me
so
Mr.
that's what's
Al,
going
hold on one
on, and
second.
that's the way I see it.
Mr. Al, hold on one second. Somebody, if I can get every caller except for Mr. Al to mute their phone, we can get rid of some of this feedback. So everyone except for
I'm
Mr.
outside.
Al,
I'm waiting on the bus.
you're good, Mr. Al. All right, you can go ahead. We had to get rid of that feedback, okay? So while you were inside the facility, how did they treat you? You were quarantined in a room by yourself, correct?
Yes, I was quarantined in a hotel. They treated me nice. They treated me really,
Right.
really nice.
So the hotel, you were able to take visits like not outside.
A lot for me. Then you right. You know, I was in a nice room. It was a two-sided room with two bathrooms and two bedrooms and TVs and microwave and refrigerators and all that type of stuff.
So did they also allow you to go up to the roof? You said, right? When it was time to get a breath of fresh air, you couldn't exactly go outside, but they had like a rooftop area where you guys could go to kind of just get a breather, correct?
Yeah, but I only went outside one time. I could have went outside by myself at the top of the roof, but it was usually calling for a group of people to go out for a smoke break, which I didn't like because you know if somebody getting well or somebody smoking, and I explained it to them when I was leaving a while ago, and they said that's right. You know, so when people on top of the roof smoking and you go out well and another person's still very infected, you can get infected again. So I didn't
Right.
go out. I went out one time and that's when they were cleaning my room.
Right.
You know,
Okay. So when you were inside the facility, did they give you any kind of like medication or treatment or anything to be able to assist you with the recovery of COVID-19? Any stay hydrated, like any tips that they give you?
well, you got to remember they're in the early stages and still trying to get like thermometers and trying to see what they need to help patients. But they had aspirin that they gave me twice, but it made me dizzy, so I had stopped taking it. But they gave me aspirin twice. I had Dayquil and NyQuil already, and some type of flu pill that my mama had bought me. You know, that's why I didn't experience a whole lot of symptoms. I experienced a few symptoms, and thank God that it was able to move through my body and get out of me. Um, so
So,
yeah,
so basically, the transition of the COVID-19, um, you had a cold, you went there, and they did not diagnose you with COVID-19 at that time. And then you went home, got a little worse, and then you decided to go back. And at that time was when they diagnosed you with COVID-19. Is that correct?
no, I gotta tell you what happened. This is the process. All right, first I started to get sick in February because I was, you know, when it was raining a lot, I had just started
Uh,
to go to this training facility that I was sent by this company that helps disabled people start working again. And it was at
uh-huh.
what's the name of that? It was at Goodwill. I was in that training program where you work in a warehouse a little bit, and or you clean the bathroom and stuff like that, and they pay you, and you go to
And you
cook
got,
3 times a day. It was
and when you
raining
got
a whole lot. When it
happened,
was raining, I was getting submerged in water. I had to go down, and then I had to go sometime to my chiropractor way up in Doraville area, you know, on Buford Highway to get my chiropractor done after work sometime, and I would get caught in the
Mr.
rain.
Al,
So
Mr. Al,
I was in the hospital for about
callers,
the last 2.5 months with different
Mr. Al,
viruses and colds.
callers. So you
And
got to
probably
to the
I
meeting,
talked for about
Mr. Al.
and but
So Mr. Al,
okay, yes,
we have other
yeah.
callers, so you gotta kind of be quick, okay? We gotta go through it quick. You got sick in
Okay.
February, and you went to the hospital,
And they went test me. They didn't
right?
test me about 3 or 4 or 5 times last time they tested me.
And
And
they did.
I'm high risk, and they supposed to test me. You know,
Why
because
you're
in the
because
medical facility, they're kind of this wrong.
you are you already have a
They like,
compromised immune system, so you are high risk, right?
huh? Yeah,
You already have a compromised immune
I'm
system, so
doing
you
it.
are high
Yeah,
risk.
really good interview. I'm, yeah, I'm, you know, I'm high risk. but they were saying there was no test for me,
Right.
you know. And
So
I
at
was
that
like, there
time,
will be a test for me. I'm high risk.
so at that
You
time,
know, somebody got to test me. And I kept bugging my doctor people about it, and then they ended up sending me to get tested. Within 24 hours, I had got the result, and they told me that I was coronavirus positive.
right? But that was the second time you went to the hospital, right?
No, I went to the hospital about eight times.
So the
And
last,
then
so the
they
eighth
didn't test
time,
me in the hospital. My,
so the
my,
eighth,
my doctor had to get an order for them to test me.
which was probably the eighth time that you've been to the hospital,
Yes,
and that's when they diagnosed you, and that's when you had to go to the facility to quarantine.
yes.
All right. So you were released from the facility already, and how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling great. I'm going down to take care of some business.
All right.
I'm definitely
So
feeling great.
upon leaving the facility, did they retest you?
No, they haven't. That's why I'm gonna talk to my nurse, my hospital about I could get a medical order to try to be retested.
So they released you with no tests, so they're not really sure if you're still COVID positive or not.
They saying that the medical people saying that after 14 days you have no symptoms, then after you've been tested positive, that the virus goes through your system and you're not contagious. They say you're not contagious after the 7th day that you're quarantined without no symptoms. But they keep you for 14 days until the virus is completely out of your body. That's what they're saying that the medical specialists is saying. But they really don't know
Right.
either. So I really don't think they know 100% for sure. But they saying that they
Right.
did the test
But
on people that was quarantined and had the virus and it was going through all of them and left them. That's what they saying. They did tests on some people. I
right.
saw that on
Wow.
the news and they said that the virus went through their system and left them after 14 days. That's what they saying. But I'm gonna get retested.
So upon leaving, you were not tested, but you also are not showing any of the signs and symptoms as you were when you first entered the facility.
Now,
Right. So did they give you any medications while you were in the facility or at the hospital?
only a couple of aspirin. They gave me an asthma part one time I went there, and they gave me some type of yellow gelatin capsule that was for respiratory, upper respiratory infection. And then the other time, they just sent me home and said it was a virus that it'll be gone if I let it run its course.
So no, like they didn't give you an IV with saline or tell you to drink more fluids or anything like that?
It did one time, I think, once or twice, not most of the time.
Okay. But as of today, you're feeling 100%, you're back to your old self?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, well that's good. And what were some of the signs and symptoms that you were showing?
Well, I was coughing a lot. I had a small fever, almost at 100. They said that was a small fever. Uh, and a couple of times when I got a temperature check, uh, and and the day of the test, I followed up about 4 times. 2 times before I went to get tested, and 2 times after I went to get tested. And then after that day, when I got that 24 hours, when I got quarantined, I stopped having symptoms at all.
Okay. Well, that's really good, Mr. Al. I'm so happy that you are better. I thank you so much for coming on the show and telling everybody your experience and what you've gone through. And I'm definitely glad of the fact that they took good care of you, but it definitely worries me with all of the different reports that they did not test you upon leaving. But I'm going to go ahead and send you some prayer, honey, some healing energy, some prayer, honey, energy that the Lord going to keep you protected and he going to protect you and everybody else. All right, but we got a couple of other callers. I'm gonna go ahead and go get to them, okay?
All right, call me when you finish.
I sure will. Thank you so much.
All right,
All
hold on.
right, you guys. So that was our second guest. We got a couple of callers on the line. That was our second guest, Mr. Al, who actually was inside of one of Atlanta's facilities of quarantine patients to get them better with the recovery of COVID-19. So thank you guys for joining me at Toya with the T. Do I have any other callers on the line? What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello. All right. Well, we could have possibly had our hangers call up. Our callers hang up, which is absolutely okay, honey, because y'all know I love to talk. But our last guest was actually someone who was actually inside the facility of one of the Atlanta quarantine facilities for COVID-19, and he's a lot better now. So, of course, we've had two different stories and two different particular situations, two particular sides of town, where both cases were handled a lot differently. And there's a lot of feedback from both individuals that displayed totally different treatment options. Okay. So I think it's very important that we utilize this and we understand that anything that we catch, including COVID-19, can cause a lot of different symptoms and it can be treated a lot of different ways by a lot of different medical professionals. That's why it is best and your best due diligence that you do as much research as possible for yourselves. Now, although we have these people who go to school and this is their job and things of that nature, but they're human just like anybody else. Who knows how they feel? Maybe they don't feel like doing their job. Maybe there is an agenda to kill specific people with no insurance or of a specific color. Who knows? Regardless of the fact, you never put the life of your body in anyone else's hands on top of your own. You should have your best interest at hand first. And if you're going to a medical professional, they don't know your body. You should know your body first. And you should not allow your body to be dealt with totally and solely with just another individual. You get to a doctor or a hospital and it doesn't seem like they're doing something right or something doesn't feel right or something in the pit of your stomach tells you to say something otherwise, then you need to speak up. There's something you feel that's not being handled right, if there's something that you're feeling that needs to be solved, speak up or call someone that's going to speak up on your behalf. Because I think not only should we look at with COVID-19 is the mishandling of what China did, we also need to stop and take a second and think of the mishandling that may be done in our own country. And if there are doctors and hospitals and nurses who are not doing their due diligence for every patient, whether they have insurance or not, whether they are white or black or Latino or Asian or have COVID or not, if there is someone in any hospital or medical facility that displays that behavior, you need to be held accountable. It is not your right to dictate who and who you cannot treat and who you do not do the right thing to make sure that they live. So the same way it is expected for us, the people, to abide by guidelines from the CDC and everyone else, we're going to hold each and every person accountable to the highest standard when it comes to the lives of other people that's outside of their own control. And COVID-19 is another one on the list. No, we don't have a choice to have COVID-19, but let me tell you something. It's a lot of things we don't have choices, and we go out there and do it anyway. We don't have choices when it comes to cancer, and sometimes we're born with HIV and sickle cell. We don't ask for that either. So me personally, any loss of life to anyone's loved one is just as important, and you should be just as angry as any other loss of life, just as we are with COVID-19. Whether it's a drunk driver, whether it's alcohol, whether it's cigarettes, anything that any company, person, entity puts out there to harm a loved one, we need to be just as angry as that, just as angry as we are at COVID-19. I'm just saying, no loss of life gets taken lightly. And when COVID-19 lifts, not only do we need to be holding us accountable for mishandling of COVID-19 treatments, but yeah, we're going to go on back to the mishandling of our citizens with killing them if we don't have to, honey. And all guns need to get traded for rocks, not boulders, sticks, something, because it was getting a little bit out of control with the gun violence on both sides, from police and from people. The human trafficking, honey, they can't do nothing now. They're scared to touch you. Ain't no kidnapping, human trafficking going on now. Because they're scared to touch it. So I praise the Lord for that. Because there was a lot of that going on. But now my mind wonders on what you're going to do with all these dead bodies up in here. Because y'all just telling us it's COVID-19. Boy, don't get me started. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. But, ladies and gentlemen, be careful. Be mindful. Make sure you do your due diligence to find out all the information you need to make your life better. It's great to have professionals. It's great to have people who are specialists in a specific field. But when it comes to you and your body, no one will ever know your body like you. The doctor cannot tell you something is wrong with you just by looking at you. You have to tell them. And with you understanding the power that you have over your own body, they can't diagnose a problem until you tell them what's wrong. So I encourage everybody to take this time to know your bodies. And it sounds like we need to be hydrated. This reminds me, years ago, the Lord tell me, Toya, you got to get your game on. Y'all need gardens. You need to start eating better. You need to start exercising. You need to start getting yourself in order. And now I totally understand why the Lord was doing that to me. And not only do I understand why, I see it. I see it. I didn't get it then, but I get it now. And when I say the Lord, it's that small voice that you know is not you. I ain't never want to do no garden. I don't like bugs. But the Lord kept putting on my heart, y'all got to get back right. They killing y'all. They killing y'all. They sending y'all home to die. Clear and stay. So I know that God is in this, and I know that God is going to be here to protect us. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to do our due diligence. We will not perish through lack of knowledge. Because I'm going to tell it. I'm going to spill the tea, the beans, and the coffee. You heard? But I want to thank all of my guests and all of my callers. I am so sorry I couldn't get to you guys. I just really want to talk to these two people who recovered from COVID-19. And I hope that it helps somebody who has a family member or someone who is actually going through this COVID-19 episode. Hopefully some of the information that they share, it helps them and it helps their families. So I really wanted to talk to these guys, but I thank you guys for your patience. I thank you guys for calling in, and I thank you guys for watching, for joining me. Toya with the tea, spilling truth. Y'all know I'm here every Wednesday at 11. It's 11:50. I got 5 more minutes of the show left. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a couple of shouts outs, right? I'm gonna do my tags, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and talk to y'all about some things we also gonna do with COVID recovery, right? Because for those of us that are recovering with good health, I think it showed us a lot of things we probably took for granted, and we're gonna move forward. All right. But due to COVID-19, there's gonna be a lot of federal provisions that are gonna work in the behalf of the Americans. And we have a program that can assist you with transformational, life-changing activities and information. Credit preparation and restoration are one of the things that we're working on. All right. We're going to be having some financial budgeting classes. Okay. And we're also working on a reality show, you guys. We're just gonna put it out there. No more waiting. We're just gonna jump out there, do it. Whether we have to do it from home with social distancing or what have you. Nothing is gonna stop me from the destiny that I saw before COVID-19. And why she here or where she go, I'm still gonna get to this money and go for what the Lord promised me. So we are working on a reality show, of course. If y'all guys want to be a part of it, go ahead and shoot me an email or drop me a link, and I'll give y'all all the information that y'all need. Also, coming up this Thursday, we're going to be doing a quarantine concert. Y'all got to check it out on my personal network page, the ABE1 network page. Thursday at 9 o'clock, we're going to be having a quarantine concert. We're going to be having some indie artists out here. So, again, we're not waiting. You know, we had plans. COVID-19 came. The plans changed. COVID-19 finna go. So, we decided to go ahead and we're going to make it do what it do from the house. So make sure y'all check us out on Thursday at 9 from the COVID-19 concert. And yes, we're going to keep it clean. And you're going to catch some fresh new artists on there that you guys are going to be able to follow. Okay? In the meantime, between time, y'all got to make sure y'all go check me out on all social media. Toya with the T. TOYAWITDATEA. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Live Me, Periscope, and I'm also working on a YouTube page. Still haven't uploaded any content just yet, but I'm working on it now. Make sure you go check me out. I do got a couple of motivational mini videos up there. I think I got a COVID-19 video that tells you about the steps to prevention, washing your hands, covering your mouth, not being next to somebody that got COVID-19. If you're sick, stay home. I think I got a couple of those videos up there, but not too much of nothing because I'm still in production. And if you guys ever want to be on the show, maybe you have a question, comment, or concern, or you just want to hear my spiel on something, feel free to hit me up on my email at toyawithet@gmail.com. That's TOYAWITDATEA@gmail.com. So, of course, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to end this with a couple of these statistics that we were talking about in the beginning to this COVID-19 virus. And I think one of the most important things is here in Georgia, you know, over 1.1 million people filed for their unemployment. And we're open now. Mr. Kemp, I want my crumbs. Whether y'all open or not, I'm going to need that a little bit because y'all done slowed up. Everything got me behind and all that stuff. And then these bills, we still got to pay it. Boy, don't you touch that money. You want to see some folk act up. You going to see, you talk about Corona, it's going to be a horror around here. You go to mess with these folks' money. Don't do that. 4,300 U.S. service members have tested positive for coronavirus. We are up to 6,754 positive cases across the entire Department of Defense. On Wednesday morning, 4,359 U.S. service members were positive and 98 were hospitalized. It's real deal out here. What else is going on? Pending home sales sink more than 20% in March. It don't make no difference, y'all, because we're going to put our money together. We're going to go pick it right back up. Y'all better hear me. We better go ahead and take advantage of this Corona stuff. For real. 4 states are going to watch today in the coronavirus pandemic. Georgia was one of the first states to open. A lot of people talked about Kemp really bad, and a lot of other people waiting to see what's going to happen to us when they open up. I've been out here in these streets because I'm with the Lord. But it's our time, y'all. I got 1 minute to go, 11:55. I'm signing off. I want to thank y'all so much again for joining me. Toya with the T. Make sure you go follow me on all my social media. Make sure you like and subscribe all of my pages. Make sure you share it, and make sure you leave your comments. I want to hear what you got to say. What can I do to make my show better? But if you took any of your time to share it with me, I want you to know how appreciative I am. You my boss, honey, because the more you watch me, the more I grow and make money, honey, and I love to share. So make sure you holler at your girl, you guys. Thank you so much. I love y'all. Don't you let nothing stop you from your destiny. Not even death. Can't let nothing stop you from your destiny except for what? Space and opportunity. So let's get it. I love y'all. Have a good day. Remember, God is with us.